In this video, we're gonna go over how to become the guy that she regrets leaving. And we don't do this because we want revenge, even though that might be your endeavor early on, to be like, I wanna just prove to her what she's missing out. I wanna prove to her like what she left. And so this can be actually very empowering for you. This is one of the things that I did back in 2015 when I found out my ex-wife was cheating on me was, you know what, I'm gonna become the kind of guy that she regrets losing. And in fact, I am gonna win so much that'll be my greatest revenge, is to just absolutely crush it in the world. And so in the beginning, it'll come from this place of just anger and frustration and pain, but really we're not doing it for her, we're doing it for ourselves. And so in this video, I'm gonna talk about how you can get through this as fast as possible and absolutely crush it in your life so that you come out the other end absolutely powerful and magnetic as a man. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. You know, in the Soul Seducer program, we talk about the 3 phases, which is 1, calm the chaos. In other words, if you're in a relationship and it's falling apart, or if you're finding out your wife's cheating on you, you have to calm the chaos. And 2, how to become a magnetic man, how to create a magnetic life. And 3, the art of seduction. And so for most people, they think seduction is this thing they have to do. They have to chase after this woman and force an interaction. Let me manipulate her with tricks and tactics and mindsets and becoming alpha and all this stuff. And really, this is forcing it. Like, nobody wants to be forced. Like, that is like the used car salesman approach. The used car salesman, if he could, he'd go and sign the fucking contract for you and pull the money right out of your bank account without you even doing anything. That is forcing something. No, if you want to become a magnetic man and become that guy she regrets leaving, you have to become magnetic. So now we're talking about the art of seduction. The art of seduction is an enticing endeavor. We present an offer, and is the offer taken or not taken? And in fact, the person who is seduced takes all the action. So for instance, if you watched the movie or you saw the trailer for Lord of the Rings or The Matrix, you probably looked at that and said, that's fucking awesome. You were seduced. You enjoyed that experience. The commercial came on or the trailer came on and it just was there and it presented the offer. And then from this presentation, you're like, I want that or I don't want that or I want to know more. And then you took all the action after that. And so this whole process of becoming a magnetic man is learning to not chase women. Not chase women. Chase a magnetic life. Chase a life that is seductive to you. So really you're kind of seducing yourself in your own way. And then we play this game, this dance of attraction. And it is a very natural thing. If you do it right, it is very natural. And you don't have to do anything else other than be unapologetically yourself. And so then the game of seduction shows your ability to keep demonstrating continuously your ability to demonstrate power in the world, and also your ability to connect vulnerably with a lot of inner security. And so in order to do this, in order to get started, we have to create the magnetic life. And the first part of magnetic life is building an unbreakable and undominable spirit. Without this, you might as well just go home. There's no point in even going anywhere else, because if you cannot adopt an indomitable spirit, in other words, a spirit that cannot be dominated, you dominate your mind, you dominate your spirit, you are the one who goes for it and you never give up and you don't quit. You know, Alex Hormozi said this quote, and I loved it, which was, success is all, you're always renting success. Like, and every day the rent is due. And so for you, if you want to have a magnetic life and you want to be able to demonstrate power and demonstrate vulnerable, massive connection with somebody, then you have to be able to don this indomitable spirit so that you can actually be successful. It is something that you're always chasing after. There's never this place of perfection that you're going to, but there's always this game of, can I be more? Can I be better? This game of, can I build my life exactly how I want it in the vision that I want it to be? Most of the time, if your relationship fell apart, you lost that vision. Your vision wasn't on your own. Your vision was on her and what to do to make her happy, or what to do, whatever's going on with your relationship. It wasn't on like what you want to create and bring into this world and this legacy that you want to leave. And so what ends up happening is this person comes into your life and your entire demeanor, your entire world, your entire approval system is hinged on this person's approval of you. And so when she leaves, you're left with nothing and it devastates you. And you're like, oh, what did I do wrong? And then you go to her trying to get closure. But the problem is you don't need closure for her because you're already asking the wrong question. The wrong question is, how do I get her back and how do I become the guy that she doesn't want to leave? That's the wrong question. The right question is, how do I become the guy who seduces himself on his own life? In order to do that, you have to become indomitable because you're going to have all kinds of challenges. It's going to be hard as hell. Like running a business is hard. Having a great relationship is easy, but it's hard to get to that place where the relationship is easy. Being a parent is hard because you have to learn and level up and grow. And so you have to get this spirit in your mind, because if you don't do this, nothing else will happen afterwards. The second part is we got to get moving. In other words, you probably should be moving in your body. You should be going to the gym, working out. Why? Well, there are a lot of great benefits to it, but the biggest one is this the only place that you go to where you're seeking failure on a daily basis. You're going in there saying, I am going to fail. And then you fail, and because of the failure, your body gets stronger. And you continuously seek failure and pain on a regular basis. What this does is it trains your mind to not fear hardship. And this is incredibly important. Like the indomitable spirit pushes you through, and then you go and you seek failure every day. So for instance, this morning I was at the gym with Josh, my trainer, and it was empty. On Monday, there was 30 fucking people. There was the most people that we've ever had. It's a good thing we go at 5 a.m. because if we didn't go at 5 a.m., it would have been packed. We wouldn't have got anything done at 6:30. And so we go early because that's before the other people get there. And we'd go even earlier, but they don't open till 5. And so when I was there with him this morning at 5, and we were the only ones there the entire time, he goes, look at this. All these people are in bed, and we're out here crushing it. You can't just crush it one day out of the week. You have to crush it consistently every single day. You have to always go towards the goals and the endeavors that matter to you. And if you can't go towards these things that matter to you, then what matters to you must not be that important. And so leveling up physically is step 2. Like I would encourage you highly, if you're not moving your body, if you're not building your body into something greater and going after greatness in your body, so if you're not leveling up your body physically, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not making yourself better. You're not forging yourself in the fire of failure. The ability to push past your limits so that you can grow, which leads to 3. What drives your action towards failure? You have to have some sort of purpose, some compelling vision, some greater why that you want to create yourself towards. If you don't have this vision or this goal, then what ends up happening is the woman in your life becomes this goal and this vision. And if you make your wife your life, then from her perspective, the only thing you got going on in your life is her. And she's like, this isn't a guy that's going anywhere. All he does is live for like having sex with me and then giving me shit and making me feel better and special. While that's nice and all, I didn't ask to be with a guy to please me all the time. I wanted to be with a guy who's actually powerful and going somewhere that I can follow his lead, and then I can trust that he's going to have things handled when things fall apart. And if you're all up in her business with her emotions all the time, when she falls apart or things fall apart, she can't trust that you're not going to, because you demonstrate on a daily basis that you fall apart when she's upset. And so if you have this life of purpose and this greater why, you start pointing your vision towards that and not towards the approval of a woman. So this is another reason why it's so important to like maybe go to the gym or bring something else in your life, some compelling vision that you have to create and move towards. And number 4, by doing this continuously, it's gonna hone your edge, and also it will develop your emotional strength. Now, with that being said, just going and doing these things isn't going to hone your emotional edge. It's not going to give you emotional resiliency. Actually, you have to have tools to do that. We teach guys this in the Soul Seducer program. If you're curious about that program, there's a link in the description below. We have 4 things that we teach guys, which is the Kong, the Release, the RRT, and the Dive. And all of these things are designed to get your emotional resiliency as high as possible. If you want to learn how to do these type of things on your own, look up like embodiment exercises. There are other things that you can do. Ours are by far the best and the fastest to get you there, but any kind of embodiment exercises, part of that would be like meditation, if you want to do like a low level version, or maybe some journaling would be another low level version of this. And so going through there and being able to develop your own emotional resiliency and study up on your own psychology and work on your own traumas and your own shadow work is going to give you absolute power in dealing with other people. In other words, if your woman's freaking out, you're going to be non-reactive. Not that you're not present, you're a robot looking like Mark Zuckerberg talking to her, but you're actually, or Data from Star Trek, you're actually in the mix with her. So you can feel her feeling you, and you can feel her. She can feel all of this, and you can feel all that going on as well, but you're not reactive to it, which means that you're fully present with her. She can see that you see her, and then she can trust that what you're saying and how you're coming across with her, you're not getting defensive because you are in control of yourself. You're not taking this personally. The most guys, when his woman loses her shit, he takes it personally. The first thing he thinks is, oh shit, I did something wrong. And he dances on eggshells trying to make her happy so that she will love him forever, maybe have sex with him tonight. And that is just not a way to live as a man. Just living for the approval of this woman, that is just not a place to live. It just completely emasculates you, and then she'll give you cutting remarks, and then you'll just take it because you want to keep the peace, and this just drives you further into this weakness, and it drives her attraction right out the fucking window. Because a woman who doesn't find you powerful is not going to respect you, and if she can't respect you, she's not going to find you attracted to you, and if she's not attracted to you, she can't be in love with you. This is just how it is. And guys get upset, well, she should just love me, we're married. That's why you get the statement, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, because she technically loves you as a friend, but she doesn't really want you as a lover. And this happens to so many marriages. I guarantee you, most marriages out there are in a situation where the woman just is not that interested in sex. And you can tell if that's the case in your marriage because it feels like consolation sex. It feels like this chore she has to do, and she never approaches you for it. And you're in this position of, well, if I don't initiate it, it'll never happen. That's because she's not finding you attractive. And it's just a matter of time before something happens. She might even say, I have no interest in sex. I'm just, I had kids and it's just not my thing. But I guarantee you, she has interest in sex. It's just not with you. And so the problem is you have not learned how to become a magnetic man. You have not learned the game of seduction. You have not learned to make yourself a magnetic and enticing life. Like, what is it that makes you amazing to be with? And being maybe even a little bit cocky and certainly self-assured in the way that you are. And this invites play. This invites this whole game of having a good time with her. And it also allows you to have boundaries because you got your vision pointed to something greater than the relationship. So then you have the ability to potentially walk away if things go south. If she doesn't want to hold to your boundaries, if she doesn't want to be nice to you, she belittles you and calls you names. And then from this place, you demonstrate power, which then again, the attraction starts to come up. And so step 5 is you want to have an unforgettable energy. In other words, do people remember you when you hang out with them, when they meet you? Are you a memorable person? Do you uplift the people around you? Are you having a great day? Or are you just having like, I'm good, I'm all right? See, the thing is, if you're plain and you're just not really emoting to people because you're afraid to be expressive, if you're afraid to be yourself, you're afraid to let all your quirks and idiosyncrasies out, then the problem is that people are just going to see you as just cardboard cutout. They're not going to see the real you. And when you hide like this, that comes off as insecure because, well, you are. You're insecure. You can't really fully express yourself. And if you do express yourself, you're too worried about the judgment of others. So what happens is that they don't have anything to latch onto. See, people latch onto your quirks and idiosyncrasies. That's what makes you special. That makes you really interesting. And so when you hide all that and you try to be like safe, what ends up happening is you just isolate yourself from the people around you. So then you are very forgettable. And so you want to be able to unapologetically express yourself with heart and humility. That's the first lesson we teach in Soul Seducer is like how to be unapologetically yourself, because nothing else works without the indomitable spirit and being unapologetically yourself. And so being able to cultivate that unforgettable energy is going to make it to where you're going to become more popular in general, which also means that you're going to have more attention from women. So if you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of dealing with all this bullshit, you're tired of being in the pit of despair and you've been in there for weeks or months, maybe even years, you've gone through a breakup and you really can't get out of this funk, having a hard time dating again, then you should absolutely check out the Soul Seducer program. I guarantee you, brother, within 2 weeks, you will be in a different place emotionally. How do I know? We've had thousands of freaking guys go through this program. At this point, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of if you will do the work. We know this works. We've refined it many, many times, and Soul Seducer is the next level of this program. It used to be called Broken and Badass. We decided to scrap that entirely and build a brand new program based off of the frames and mindsets that we have refined and honed over the last few thousand men over the last 4 or 5 years. And so it's an all-new program. It's badass, and I invite you to join if you would like to absolutely dominate this game of relationships and then ultimately mastery in your life. Anyways, brother, I hope you like this video. Hit the like button so other men will see it. Hit subscribe if you got some value out of here. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.